I'm going to propose a toast. Being the patriarch, and she's the matriarch, and my wife of 55 years. I want to propose a toast to her since this is her birthday. And we hope we have both many more.
Amen.
Amen.
Give thanks for having us so long.
This is Dorothy Belijack. To most people, she's Dottie. But to me, she's always been Grandma, or more affectionately, Gram. My Gram was born on November 25th, 1925, which makes her 88 this year. Between she and my pap, who passed away in 2007, they sparked a rapidly expanding family of 5 children, 14 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. At 21, I'm one of her younger grandchildren. She's been a grandma for over 40 years, and in those 40 years, she's inspired all of us to be great people, spouses, parents, and eventually grandparents to our own grandchildren.
More than anything, she just really emanated love. She was all about spoiling her grandchildren.
You like my present?
Yeah, it's
Is that because I love you?
I love you, Grandma. Thank you for this best present ever.
She's just a sweetheart. She's always been a great example as a grandma. I mean, she's always been the most loving, the most affectionate, like somebody you want to look up to.
We were always welcomed, you know, heartily with big hugs from Grandma and Pap. And I always remember her giving us Fig Newtons.
She always also used to have a jar of Fig Newtons in her cupboard. Do you remember? And my parents never had Fig Newtons, so there was like that, you know, that taste always reminds me of Grandma. Grandma was quite a cook. Her recipes still kind of flourish in our family.
Maybe the most secretive part of my Gram's cooking is her dip, which was always closely guarded under lock and key, and you never knew what the secret ingredient was, except we all did.
Some kind of concoction of using but it's delicious, and we still have it at every family gathering to date.
Every holiday I have, I make that dip, the orange Belijack dip.
Couldn't tell other people. Anytime we would let people try the dip, this is our grandma's famous dip, you know. I guess I'm not going to tell people what it is, but there's in it, say that, and other things. I'm not going to name the other ones. Do you even know?
And of course, chocolate cherry cake.
Chocolate cherry cake, yes.
Chocolate cherry cake was her hallmark in terms of desserts. And I don't like chocolate cherry cake, but I liked hers because it was hers. She would make dozens of them all the time for her friends, for her family. She was always thinking of other people.
Grandma has always told some of the best stories. Like, when I would stay there, she would tell me the story of how she met Pap. So they met at a bar down on the south side, and she always tells me, oh, Heather, when I seen him, I knew when he saw him across the room, I knew the minute I looked at him, that was the man for me, with that black wavy hair. And she's like, and he asked me, can I have a number? And I said, it's in the book, look it up. And he did, he called me. I love that story when they first met, you know, look it up.
Well, she was always very well put together, always dressed as if she was, you know, going out in the town, and she did love to do that and go dancing. She always wants to look her best. Her hair was very iconic. I don't know how long it must take to do that hair. I think that's like one of her trademark traits. You always, if you close your eyes right now and picture her, I'm picturing her hair.
When I was around 16, I actually stayed with her for about a year, and we'd go on these wonderful walks, and as soon as we would get home, Pap would make us a whole big, like, crazy breakfast of like bacon, eggs, pancakes, and we would probably eat all the calories back that we just burned, and then we would laugh about it for like the next half hour about how silly that was.
One of the memories that always stands out to me about, you know, Grandma and being at Grandma's house is when I was young, I was playing over there, and she would babysit me.
It was like going over to another world, kind of. I guess, you know, we get so used to living here at our house, and when we would go over there, we always turned it into another play area with the pool that was in the middle of the basement.
The fireman pool,
Yeah.
That's what we called it.
That was a blast. I remember the whole wall was mirrored down there too.
All of us kids would play when all the adults were playing cards on holidays, and I used to babysit.
We play shop in my pap shop with all of his tools, and then play store in the pantry.
And it looks like two different rooms, but it's not. It's the same room, like separated by nothing other than a refrigerator.
Half of it was icing and pop and goods, and the other half was all Pap-Pap's tools, so it can get a little dangerous being there by yourself.
When I think about like the person I want to be, I think about her a lot, because I think she embodied like what I think the perfect mom would be. You know, my mom of course too, but she was just always there for us, always there for her own kids, always there for us, always making sure everybody was taken care of, you know, putting herself last as always, just selfless, very selfless, always heart of gold, like just give anything that she would have.
She's very unselfish, and those kind of experiences make you want to be that way too. You know, I don't think about myself very much anymore. I don't want things to be given to me. I am at the point of my life where, you know, I'm 25, but I want to help other people as best I can. And she inspires me to do that. She inspired my mother to do that, who in turn, I see how unselfish she is, and that's going to be passed on from me to my children.
Now that I'm, you know, older and an adult, and I really am learning how much I appreciate my family and everything that she's done for us. I wish I could just, you know, tell her thank you.
In the last 2 years, my grandma's been diagnosed with dementia. Even though she's the epitome of physical health for an 88-year-old, she's unable to take care of herself. Last summer, my dad renovated part of our house for her to live in.
You like it? What's not to like? I got goosebumps.
Because of this, though, we had to wave goodbye to a lot of memories. The house was stripped and sold. No longer could we slide down the fireman's pool or play shop. As for Dottie, she's definitely changed. She confuses people, places, and memories.
It's terrifying. You think, what would it be like if I couldn't remember the last 20 years? If I didn't have these things to look back and smile on? You'd be scared too.
Sometimes she can, you know, she forgets who we are and thinks that we're out to get her. And it's honestly a shame to see that, because we're just there to help. But I think deep down she's still the same person.
I think that she's totally the same person at heart, absolutely. The dementia is what we're seeing a lot of. That's what's masking her. And that's really why you get a lot of light sometimes. Like when she's having better days, you definitely see her shine through, absolutely.
She's still the coolest grandma too. What other 88-year-olds do this?
And don't forget, I'm a basketball player.
67. That's 4 in a row. 68. 69.
But in the end, this film was about the legacy she's leaving behind, and we'd all like to say something directly to her.
Thank you, Grandma, for everything you've done to this family. You've built one big, happy family with plenty of traditions and love, and it's all because of you.
You have always been an inspiration to me, to our entire family, and I'm never going to be able to thank you enough.
Grandma, I love you with all my heart and all my soul. You've taught me so much in my life, so much, and you've been the best example ever, and you're everything I compare myself to now, and I thank you for everything. I love you.
As for me, I'd like to propose a toast to my grandma of 21 years. I'd like to toast to her since this is her birthday, and I hope and pray she has many more.